Good morning. Welcome back to the Command Center for the weekly updates. This is our 7th episode of weekly updates, and today is July 13th. It is halfway through July. I was just literally saying this about June, and all of a sudden, way through July. So, staying busy, trying to make things happen, making arrangements, connecting with partners and all kinds of people. And the time flies when you're having fun, right? We want to start with the Water is Play series that I have been telling you for weeks. Episode 1 is coming. Now, the overview is up on YouTube and I think it's on TikTok too. It's pretty short. And it kind of gives you an idea of where we're going with this. But we want to talk about the water, what it's carrying, how it impacts us. The water from here, from Laramie, where I'm sitting right now, to the Gulf of Mexico, and what it carries all along it, including, get this, our DNA. When you shower, when you swim, when you get in the water, you shed DNA in the water. So does every other living thing. It sheds the DNA in the water. And you know what? You drink that water. So we literally become part of every living thing that's ever touched that water and part of all the yucky stuff that we put in it. So we're talking about that and water quality and how a river in Laramie can impact a fisherman in Louisiana and all the things in between. So it's exciting information. Well, I kind of nerd out about it, but hopefully you find it interesting as well. But we haven't been able to record the episode because of storms and mosquitoes and a recording error and more storms. But we did find an opening in the weird weather that we've been having, Teok and I, and we went down to the Laramie River over the weekend and we did re-record it. So I've got a few minor edits to make and I will get that live this week. So if you're subscribed, you will get a notification and you'll be able to check it out. I'll tell you, the storms here are kind of interesting because it's so dry. I don't know what our elevation has to do with it, but it's so dry here that, like, I guess in a typical desertish area, it rains, but it doesn't hit the ground. It's really kind of exciting when it does because then reservoirs can fill up and ground tables and all of that. But what does hit the ground is the lightning. So when it's storming, even if it's not raining, you can see the rain, but it's not hitting the ground. The lightning is. And the winds are a thing here, such a thing. Like on the routine, anywhere from 30 to 80 miles an hour. Sometimes worse, sometimes not as bad. It's such a thing here. You know, where I come from, 80 miles an hour means you're getting a tropical storm or, the beginnings of a hurricane, right? But here it's like normal. It's so normal. There's signs on the highway that tell the truckers and high profile campers and vehicles to turn around and not go because of the winds. But of course, people think, oh, I'm heavy enough. I know how to drive. I can do this. And routinely, we have trucks and recreational vehicles laying on their side all along the highway, even in the winter, which is really dangerous because it's brutally cold in between here and Cheyenne. It's brutally cold everywhere. That's where it's 7,200 feet. The reason I'm here is really kind of interesting. I had a friend who had a house for rent, and because I put the word out actually to a lot of friends, I'm like, hey, I want to live before I get on the boat. I want to live somewhere in the Wild West and live my Wild West bucket dreams, as it were, somewhere between Montana and Colorado. I'm not really interested in New Mexico, too deserty for me. And I had a friend who had a house in Laramie that was coming open, and we took the opportunity. I'm so grateful we did it. It's really cool to live here. I don't know that I'd make this my permanent home. It's too far from the ocean for me, I think, but it is really cool. And it's neat because we have the Snowy Range, lots of mountains to explore, tons of hiking, the Tetons, Yellowstone. The landscape here is just unbelievable. It's so beautiful. It really is a cool place. So if you haven't visited this area, I highly recommend you at least come out here and see it. So back to our updates. Vessel update. We are still actively looking for a boat. Our go, no-go date is August 10th. And the reason we have that is so if we're launching in October, we really need to get the boat moved to from wherever it is to New Orleans, where we're going to be launching. And we need to learn to captain it. We do have some captains who are volunteering to come along on this expedition with us, which is fantastic. But we want to learn to operate it and dock it as well, and do all the things that are necessary, and to make sure it's outfitted with what we need, to make sure if it's got, make sure it's got enough bunks and everything, and we don't have to build some stuff out. And we just want to make sure we have it ready. Otherwise, we're starting kind of behind the 8 ball, and we don't want to do that. So if we don't have a boat, like absolutely in hand by September 1st, we will postpone this until next year. And August 10th kind of gives us an idea. Like if we have a boat in the works by mid-August, we know that by September 1st, we'll have a boat in hand probably. So it's for preparation purposes. If it doesn't happen, we will simply postpone the whole thing for 1 year. We will keep at it. We will keep building our citizen science network. We will travel and do some citizen science events on the land, and we will work towards the next October launch date. But we're really hoping for this year. So on the horizon right now, we were recommended by Jorge at AMI Kids to check out the International Seakeepers Society, which we hadn't heard of. And that is a really cool thing. It has a program called the Discovery Yacht Network, and it connects scientists and educators with yacht owners. They want to contribute their vehicles to their boats, their vessels to real research, education work. So we found over the weekend their research application on their website and submitted that, filled it out and submitted it. And it's just a waiting game now to talk to them. This is potentially a strong alignment that we've identified, because not only does it match our both our research part of the mission and our education outreach part of the mission. It's not specifically asking for a boat donation. It's asking an owner to be part of something meaningful for a defined expedition segment. So it's really kind of cool. So we'll see where it goes. Meanwhile, we are reaching out to yacht brokers, marinas, the America Great Loop Cruisers Association folks, and pushing on all of those networks to see what we can find. So to keep on, I wanted to feature this week something really kind of exciting. The SeaWorthy Collective, we made this connection through Austen Legler this week. We had a great meeting with him. He told us all about the SeaWorthy Collective and the things that they're doing there. And this is really super exciting. These guys aren't an established partner yet. We're really hoping that our missions mesh enough to really engage with them more and more. And you'll see why. I'm going to go to the website, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the SeaWorthy Collective. But hey, check it out. Our website's up, right? And what do we see here? Look at this huge mouse. Where is my huge mouse? This huge mouse. What do we see here? Countdown to launch, 88 days, 18 hours, 49 minutes, and 55 seconds and counting. So this is on every page of our website. It's in the header. So anytime you visit our website at cultivatingcurrents.org, you can see our countdown, and our link to the vessel donation is here too. There's a whole page with information and forms you can fill out to get in contact with us if you have a boat. So let's get on to the SeaWorthy Collective. So these guys, this is really cool. This is a Miami-based nonprofit founded in 2020 with the mission of making BlueTech, that is ocean innovation, accessible and, more importantly, inclusive. They run startup programs, accelerators, community initiatives for founders that are building solutions for ocean and coastal impact. And since 2021, they have supported over 40 startups and 78 founders, 70% of whom are from underrepresented backgrounds, who have collectively raised over $10 million. That is astounding. Think of this as a tech accelerator, but it is entirely focused on the ocean economy, from coral reef restoration, coastal resilience, pollution solutions, water quality technology. Hey, there might be a connection there, right? What kind of technology? We're doing water quality research. It's pretty cool. So that's the world that the SeaWorthy Collective operates in. And even cooler, if that's possible, is that they are a key partner in something called the Continuum. So I'll put these websites in the show notes and you guys can explore these, but this is the Continuum website, Powering Scalable Ocean Enterprise Solutions. Continuum is a collaborative initiative launched in December 2024 and backed by a $13.9 million grant from NOAA, brings together SeaWorthy, Tampa Bay Wave, the University of South Florida, St. Pete Innovation District, and others to advance BlueTech commercialization across Florida and beyond. This is NOAA funded, it's Tampa Bay based, and it's ocean science focused. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, I see a connection. This spring, the SeaWorthy announced a Tampa Bay expansion that is backed by a $500,000 grant from JPMorganChase, specifically to build coastal resilience in 3 counties in Florida, Pinellas, Pasco, and Hillsborough counties. And they are supporting startups like the Everglades oysters, which are working to revive the Gulf oyster populations and improve water quality. And get this is pretty freaking cool. 3D printed living seawalls for coastal construction. I want to see a demo of that. Real solutions to the same problems we're documenting on the loop is what is going on with all of this. So that's really exciting. The connection we had to this came through Austen Legler again, who recently joined SeaWorthy to support the early stage founders in the BlueTech space in Tampa. He is Tampa based and deeply embedded in the innovation ecosystem there and immediately got what we're doing. So it was really cool. The partnership angle for us isn't funding because SeaWorthy is a startup accelerator, not a grant program. The value here is in the network, the credibility, and the shared mission, and the potential to connect our expedition with the BlueTech community that is actively working on ocean solutions in the exact geography we're going to be traveling through for months. So when we're in Tampa Bay in December, the SeaWorthy community is right there, and that's a really powerful thing. And we're really, really super excited about the potential connections there, and and about the potential that we can bring to SeaWorthy as an extension, maybe for research or spreading the word, and just helping them with their networking as well. So if you are building something in the ocean innovation space, or you know who someone is, or you want to fund it, check out the SeaWorthy Collective at SeaWorthyCollective.com and the Continuum. Those are in the show notes. So last week I also mentioned that I'm going to be starting a live reading of my book, Brilliant But Struggling, Empowering Your Teen Beyond Conventional Schooling. And I actually started that last night. We did a live on TikTok. We were hoping to do YouTube, but we had a little snag. So next week, it'll probably be TikTok and YouTube. We're going to experiment with that some more. We'll be doing these readings at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. And we're reading a little bit. Last night, I started with some of the front matter and dug a little bit into why teens are special to me, why I like working with them. And we'll go from there. So we'll read a little bit. We'll have discussions about education, alternative educations, why your teen might be struggling in school, what you can do about it, how you can help them. And I tell you, I get asked a lot, like, why teens? And I'll be posting that replay on YouTube. So if you've subscribed, it'll pop up for you. But we really want to dig into the education side of this as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you have a teen who is struggling with school, if you have a friend who's constantly, or family member who's constantly complaining about their teens struggles in school, or if you are a teen that hates school and you're just really struggling with the whole thought of having to go every day, this is for you too. But come and join us. We'll do a little reading and we'll discuss what that is all about. And we'll be doing that every Sunday evening at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. The Ambassador Program, I've talked about that a couple times. It's on track for a late July release. I've been working on the backend systems for that, promising a deep dive for a couple of weeks now. And it's coming not next week, but the 7/27 updates. I'll be sharing more about the Ambassador Program. Here's what I can tell you now. If you have a teen that is near any waterway that drains into the Gulf of Mexico, and believe it or not, way out here in Wyoming, our waterways drain into the Gulf of Mexico. So if you are a teen near any waterway that drains into the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic, or the Great Lakes, then you could be a Cultivating Currents ambassador, and we are looking forward to talking to you. This is going to be about real science protocols, real data, real science that matters, that's going to be used, that affect change and affect policy and affect people's health. So stay tuned for that. That's coming as well. Quick tease, in about 4 weeks, just slightly under, I'll be heading to Florida. So for the week of August 4th, hopefully with intern Lexa, we will be doing an open water dive certification with Les Burke at Junior Scientists in the Sea in Key Largo. And then August 10th through the 15th, I will be participating with Les in the Junior Scientists in the Sea summer camp in Key Largo. That will include some of our marine debris mapping and our water quality. And we'll be spending a night in the Jules Undersea Lodge, which is so cool. Talked about that in a previous episode. I'll put those links in the show note as well. Last week, we also had our NOAA Marine Debris monthly meeting and catch up. Coordination is continuing. They are working with us on our port stops and partners for all of the segments. We are still working on developing the Great Lakes segment because we're redoing that and all the port stops so that we hit all the U.S. in that. Be doing marine debris map protocol training so that I can lead marine debris map events. I'll be doing that training with Jess on Friday. I'm excited about that as well. And we have 20 ambassador kits from a grant that the Marine Debris Program was able to pull together. They have all been shipped to the south, so they're waiting for us and our boat. And 3 of those kits are going to actually be shipped to Florida for our program that's coming up in a few weeks there. So we're really excited to get one of those in our hands and walk through it with you and show you what it's all about and what that stuff is going to be used for. So our Living Loop Lab community meeting, we have a meeting monthly to talk about cultivating currents and the Living Loop Lab. It's a board update meeting and it's a community update meeting. The link isn't on the website yet, but it will be, I'm going to say by tomorrow at noon here in Mountain Time, so that you can join. That's a little bit later this week. I think it's on Wednesday. So if you have questions, if you want to talk about the boat, if you want to talk about the research, if you want to talk about having us stop for a port event near you or with you, partnering anything, you can come and attend the meeting and get more information. So the link, I'll add the link in the show notes, but it'll also be on the website too, so you can just join us. Our monthly NOAA Phytoplankton Monitoring Network group meeting is coming up this week as well. It's always a good pulse check on what's happening nationally too with HABs and water quality monitoring, and it's a chance to keep them updated on our progress towards October and to get connections. And then something new that I'm super, super excited about too is we're meeting with Jules Vastine, who is the participatory science contact at the EPA. So EPA, pun intended, closes the loop for us for citizen science because NOAA manages the coast, right? The Gulf, the Atlantic, and into the Great Lakes, all the way across the Great Lakes. But as soon as we come into the river in Chicago and head down the inland waterways back to the Gulf, we're out of the NOAA purview and into the EPA. And this is our first contact with the EPA, and I'm really super excited to be working with Jules, who specifically works on connecting community science efforts to their data programs. So having that EPA connection in our ecosystem alongside NOAA PMN and NOAA MDP, it adds a really important layer to the scientific credibility of what our ambassadors are going to be doing. So we are really super excited to be meeting with Jules this week. So that is week 7. That's a wrap. Here's what to look out for. The Water is Place episode is coming. It'll be dropping this week. If you subscribe, you'll get that. Live book reading on Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Bring your questions about education. The ambassador program will be announced in very late July. If you have a teen near the water, this is for them. You can reach out to us now and get on our mailing list for this. And that is it. If you know of a boat, reach out. Oh, and I forgot too, I'll be launching this week. So if you subscribe, you'll see this too. I'll be launching Will This Boat Work for Us for the loop. So I'm going to be looking for boats that are for sale, that are specific to the loop, that are known to be loop ready or loopable boats. And I'll be exploring whether or not those would work for our research. So you kind of get an idea of what it is we're really looking for. But in a nutshell, we want something between 45 and 55 feet. I said 35 earlier, but it doesn't give us enough room for staterooms. So we need 3 staterooms. The more bunks, the merrier. If all the staterooms had bunks, or at least 2 of them had a bunk situation, that would be fantastic. Because we have crew, we have some folks that are going to be with us on and off the boat routinely, and then we want to have bunks for college students who are looking to get research experience and credit for their degree programs, so that they can book a leg or several legs or a segment or whatever it is they need. And we want to be able to bring our ambassadors on board, those that can join us, because that's one of the perks of being an ambassador and making that commitment to do routine water quality or marine debris mapping checks throughout the year at a specific location. So we'll be opening up a bunk for those teens to be joining us throughout the mission. And what's really cool about that too, if we have students on board that are teens and we have students on board that are college, they can be working together and mentoring and guiding and connecting, which would be really neat. So that is it in a nutshell. All the things that are coming, all the things that we're doing. Stay tuned. We're having a lot of fun here. Feel free to reach out and connect with us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on TikTok, on through our website, wherever you want to connect with us here on YouTube. All right, signing off. Have a fantastic week. I know we will.